Good evening to all our viewers and welcome to Proven Talks Wealth. I am Chrisandra Brown, Senior Private Client Advisor here at Proven Wealth. Joining me for an evening of conversation and insight is a very special guest, an individual who has been creating waves in the motorsport field and has managed to amass a very colorful list of accolades throughout his career thus far. Our guest began his motorsports career at the age of 11 in karting, motocross, and rally events. At the young age of 17 years, he stamped his name in the Jamaican record books as the youngest ever winner of the Jamaican Rally title and the Jamaican Driver of the Year awards. He is the most competitively successful Jamaican driver in the history of the international rallycross racing. His championship victory in the 2019 America's Rallycross Championship marks the first and only championship by a Jamaican driver in the genre's history. In 2021, he became the first and only Jamaican to win the Supercross Rally victory in the Nordic Championship, defeating four-time Rallycross World Championship Christopherson. Ladies and gentlemen, here with me today is the recipient of the 2019 and 2021 RGR Gleaner of the Year Awards for Motorsports, Fraser McConnell.
Well, what an intro. Thank you.
Welcome, boss. Welcome, boss. Fraser, that introduction of your achievements was a mouthful. You've certainly been very busy. But we want to thank you, first of all, for being here and wish welcome to the Proven family.
Yeah, man, thank you for having me, and shout out to the Proven family for making this happen, and making MC Valley off the track as well is very important to me. So
absolutely, I agree. All right, Fraser, before we get started, right, I hear that you have a very famous nickname. So for our viewers who don't know, I want you to just share it with us and tell us how it came about.
So my nickname is Fraz, and we've even started Team Fraz, and it was actually my uncle at the dinner table a long time ago. I can't remember what it was about, but he's famous for giving nicknames, and Fraz just seemed to stick, and it's easy on the tongue when you're talking as well.
Yeah, it has formed part of your branding now.
Exactly.
Yeah, hashtags and everything.
Yeah, man, the commentators and everything, they refer to Fraz
more than you actually did.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Okay, all right, perfect. All right, firstly, congratulations are in order for your most recent debut at the Euro R Series and the Nitro Rallycross Series in Sweden. How was that experience for you?
It was a great start to the year so far. We were doing double duty with the electric car and the supercar in the Nitro Rallycross Series. And it was 3 events for the European Championship, and we came first in 2 of them. We crossed the finish line in first for the 3rd race, but we got a time penalty, so we had to settle with 2nd place. But it was still enough to get 1st place in the championship, so that's another championship under the belt. And now we're focusing on the rest of the season in electric, and it's actually the first full electric rallycross series.
Okay.
And the cars are incredibly fast. It's 850 kilowatts of battery power, and that is equivalent to just over 1,000 horsepower.
That's a lot of power.
And it's instant, so you can just imagine. It's hard to imagine until you do it.
You're right.
But you can use the imagination and just think of how instant the power is going to the wheels, and it's a beast and a handful to manage. And then we did, like you said, we debuted in the European Rallycross Championship, and that was a great honor because it's the longest standing Rallycross Championship.
Okay.
Going back, many years, and many legends have come out from that sport. And I was competing in the same paddock, as we like to call it, with the RX2 International Series, which was the support junior category. And I was able to do a one-off in the main Euro RX1 Championship, and be around different set of eyes than the Nitro paddock brings. Right. A lot more traditional fans and really long-time supporters. Okay. So I was able to. They had always heard about the Jamaican drive, and is he really that good? Is Nitro really tough competition? And, right. We're able to go over there and in many instances setting the fastest lap time, and we had some car failure in the final, which was a shame. I wasn't able to bring it home, but we're still able to go out there and put on a show and show the world that we're on our way to being the best in the world, and you know, Jamaica is on the map with rallycross for sure.
That sounds really good. You mentioned the electric car. Is that your first time racing an electric vehicle?
So last year I was in the RX2E championship. I did 2 events, and that was the groundbreak of electric rallycross. But then again, it's the same support category.
Okay, right.
And now in Nitro Rallycross, we're driving the FC1X, which is the first main class category electric rallycross car. And like I said, it's taking the world by storm, and you know, everybody that sees it for the first time is blown away
I can
at
imagine.
their performance. And you know, it is the guinea pig year and the first year of full-blown competition with electric vehicles. And you know, we're all very hopeful, and you know, see the future very clear with manufacturers coming on board to support these EV vehicles. And you know, manufacturers are all transitioning to the electric side.
Correct.
And it's going to be a great platform for them to market and, you know, do their research and development on the cars, and you know, make electric exciting.
Right. Okay, I love that. I mean, so by now, we know that you're a big-time professional race car driver, right? But tell us, who is Fraser McConnell outside of the car and off the track?
I have a very tight circle of friends. You know, big family guy. My best friend is my brother. And you know, our family is super tight, and you know, love sports, love playing sports, watching sports, and you know, just taking it easy on when it's not racing time. And you know, I have a normal job as well. I work out at True Juice.
Okay. Right.
In the distribution team, and yeah, just trying to, you know, I always do have my mind on racing out off the track. You know, trying to mentally prepare myself for the challenges and make sure that I'm always physically in shape as well. But you know, at that level, everyone is so good that, you know, the only way to separate yourself is the mental aspect. Right. And so a lot of positive affirmation and visualizing, and you know, making yourself, proving to yourself that you are the best, and you have what it takes to win.
To get there.
Yeah, just the mental strength to go out there and, you know, overcome all the adversity. Okay,
so it's a balancing act between race prep, family time, and your regular job.
Exactly. So it's just like striking the balance and making sure you're not overwhelming yourself with one particular thing. Right. And having fun at the end of the day is no point if you're not having fun. So
absolutely, I agree. All right. So in terms of your decision as to why you decided to actually pursue racing professionally, what actually drove you to that decision?
It was actually a decision we made quite early in my career. I would have said about 15, 16, me, my mom and my dad, we sat down, and you know, we all were on the same page of let's try to make it big time. And because it had to be decided that early, because there is a lot of sacrifice that needs to be made to put yourself in a position to even have the chance. Okay. So, you know, 15, 16, 17, you know, Jamaica, we like to party, and, you know, that's when you start to go out and hang out. And I had to sacrifice a lot of that because, you know, the Heroes Weekend, Independence, Carnival Weekend, all of those weekends are race weekends at Dover.
I see.
So, you know, I isolated myself from the distractions, and, you know, making sure that I was able to bring the best Fraser to a race weekend at every given point. And, you know, just the mindset and the approach of the whole package had to be decided very early, like I said, 15, 16. Because, you know, I myself believe I have what it takes, and so did my parents, and, you know, they're my biggest supporters and biggest believers. So hopefully making a road.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you are. I mean, it's absolutely amazing to have such a support system around you. I'm sure it makes it a lot, well, not easier, but, you know, a lot more manageable to pull through. You've accomplished so much at a very young age, right? And of course, with this level of success comes some amount of wealth. So we wanted to kind of have an idea from you as to how do you go about actually managing your wealth?
Well, I'll be very straight up. At my point in my career now, there's not much wealth after, the racing expenses have been paid.
Right.
So all of the sponsorship now is cost recovery, and what I'm doing now wouldn't be possible without someone like a Proven coming on board to give me that financial backing and support that I need. And I look at it just as well as everyone else does, as an investment, because there will be a payout at some point. But racing is an expensive sport, and it's impossible without sponsorship.
Right. Okay, all right, not a problem. What we realize is that some professional athletes, they have encountered financial trouble due to small earning window, maybe lack of knowledge, or even overspending when that payout actually does happen, right? What do you think are some of the key challenges, based on your experience, that athletes would face in the management of their actual finances?
I can see that happening, when you are an athlete, unless it's a very, very rare case. For example, I watched the Serena Williams and Venus Williams movie the other day, a little bit. Right. She was 15 when she got her multi-million-dollar deal. So that's a very rare case. Mm-hmm. In a normal case, athletes are, working very, very hard for many, many years. Maybe even being in debt from it. And then when the cash does come, then I guess I could see the sense of wanting to reward yourself very quickly, which is totally deserved, and waited so long, and a good way to go about that would be having someone like yourself or a Proven take you through the steps of giving you good advice, not the cliche, don't spend it, save it, proper advice, and show us the route to success and the best way to go about it.
No, I agree with you. And I mean, the truth of it is that athletes, or in persons in general, may not necessarily be earning in this manner forever, right? I mean, we always hear the saying, you need to put away something for a rainy day. And it's really for us to put that into practice, to say, hey, I've made X amount of funds, it's time for me to start investing so that money can start to earn for me. And I mean, with that concept, we can even take it a step further to say, hey, this money that I'm investing, it's not just for me, it's for my kids, for my grandkids, for my great-grandkids. And with that mindset, what you're really doing is building or creating a foundation towards generational wealth that transcends. So, I mean, it's very important that, as you said, for persons to be, kind of prudent with their investing approach.
And it is key for us athletes to, make a image and persona that you can carry once your athletic performance days are over.
Right.
You can still have a package to present to sponsors to still be an endorsement. Take the great Usain Bolt as an example. He's probably more busy now with endorsements than he was with running.
Yes.
And he's somebody I really look up to big time. And just being yourself out there on the track or wherever you may be performing, and be just more than a performance athlete. You have to have a personality behind your name and make sure that you're genuinely liked.
Okay, fair enough. What would be your advice for young athletes that are maybe coming into some funds from their activities? What would you say to them in terms of saving or investing or budgeting?
I'd tell them to trust the process.
Right.
Rome wasn't built overnight, and your career isn't going to be any different. So whenever I've felt like, is this the right thing? I haven't made the right choice. I turn around and just dig even deeper and make sure that the next time I'm out there is 110%. And with performance and good media relations, it's inevitable to have a good career. And I've lived by that saying of trusting the process, and still believe in it to this day. Absolutely.
Would you say that you have a particular investing approach? Do you gravitate to anything in specific, whether it be stocks or real estate?
I wouldn't say that I'm a risk taker. I say I'm quite risk adverse. So I do like to put my money in very, very, safe, guarantee, a
Right.
3-5%, and make sure that you're not putting it up to sadly kiss it goodbye one day. Make
Right.
sure you're in a safe position. But that's why we have people like you. You're the professional in this field. So look to you guys for advice.
Right. They're to guide you. So you're taking a little bit more conservative approach,
Right.
preserving that capital that you have. All right, no problem. Earlier today, you toured one of our most recent developments via at Braemar. Is real estate high on your priority list? Maybe not necessarily now, but in the future?
It definitely will be in the future. I don't have the capital now to invest in real estate as I'd like, but after seeing what Proven has done over at Via Braemar, it's incredible. I felt like I was in foreign when I was taking a tour. First class amenities. The rooms are tip top shape, and something as simple as the high ceiling in the penthouse was a big standout to me. Everybody has their balcony, and I was very, very impressed with the facility.
I mean, I don't mean to toot our own horn or anything, but it's certainly a standout piece,
Yeah.
and you certainly alluded to that. In your career, who is one person that's a big inspiration for you?
Like I said already, Bolt is I've looked up to him for a very long time, and just the way he carries himself, and
Right.
how he can control the crowd and control the camera is incredible. But it's nothing compared to his performance and his dominance. So really standing out, and when people see his name on the entry list, they think twice of coming. That's the stage I want to get to.
Right. And is there anybody in the motocross field that you also look up to?
Everybody. I'm still I have gotten out of being the new kid on the block.
Right.
And at first they did take Jamaica very lightly. They didn't know what to think, to be honest. No one took it serious at first. Bobsled team and
Right.
Bob Marley and all of this. And after my first race, I had that round the outside pass that went quite viral, and from that point on, people have known that when they see the Jamaica flag on the entry list, it's no joke.
Right.
But I'm always trying to improve on my performances, and I know that if I go out there and don't make any mistakes and hit all my points and stick to the game plan, I'll be the one to beat.
Okay, no problem. In terms of when you
Very humbly.
Very humbly. In terms of when you are actually, looking for an investment advisor or seeking advice from persons, maybe someone around your team, what kind of characteristics do you look for in them before you decide that, hey, okay, I'm going to actually follow this person's advice?
Well, first and foremost, they need a proven track record.
I like that one.
No, but in all honesty, if I'm going to be trusting someone to handle my money and steer me in the right direction, I'm gonna want to see previous history of it being proved to be working, and sounds very cliche, but proven wealth has done that, and yeah, it's all building blocks, and like I said, it's not going to be built overnight either. So trusting the advisors and discussing different strategies are always key. Much like motor racing, me and my engineers, we talk about different strategies the whole entire weekend until we both come to a consensus on which one we're going to pursue. And I don't see it being any different from a wealth management standpoint of choosing the right path to invest your money.
Okay, all right. So you sound like you take a very systematic approach to, well, not just racing, but how you choose a financial advisor or how you go about actually doing your investments. And I do appreciate that. My final question before we actually get to the question and answer section is, what's next for you on the circuit?
So I'm in 2 series at the moment. I've been contracted from a series called Extreme E. They're a full electric series. They're not rallycross. They're actually a quite unique genre of motor racing.
Right.
It's a mix between rally, rallycross, circuit racing, Dakar rally. It's a very unique sport, and they're very big on equality and climate change awareness.
Right.
So they race in remote areas that have been affected by climate change. For example, the last race I was in Italy with them, and Sardinia had been suffering a lot with wildfires.
Okay.
And the venue was actually burnt grounds from a previous wildfire.
Okay.
Raising awareness while still having some exciting racing. And my role there is the championship male driver. So every team has a male and a female.
Right.
And I'm the championship male driver. And basically, if one of the guys are sick or can't make it or something happens, I step in and keep the championship hopes alive for that team. And outside of that is a lot of pre-event testing. So the tire partners, I have to go out there and give them feedback on the stress that's being put on the tire. And with the cars being electric, I have to go out there at a race simulation pace, so quite fast. And they can look at the wear on the battery to see, can they go more power, do they need to go less power, is the temperature too high?
So it gets very technical.
It gets very technical, and
Right.
they need someone to step in that can give them a proper simulation of what the car will be doing during the race. And the other series I'm in now is Nitro Rallycross, where I'm sitting third in the championship after 2 rounds with the electric car. And right after Chile is the Extreme E.
Right.
Chile, I go straight to Minnesota for round 3 of Nitro in the electric car.
So you have a pretty booked schedule.
Yes.
Okay. All right, no problem. All right, so we're going into question and answers. Let's see if we can get some questions from the viewers. All right, it looks like we have one here. All right, what strengths do you believe would make you a great athlete, or that you possess that have made you a great athlete?
Physical, being in shape physically is very important because, again, humbly, I'd say I'm in very good shape.
Right.
And, very fit, and you need to be in that state of fitness because you can't afford to get tired. I train hard enough so that when I'm in the car and I'm racing and the race is done, I'm still not tired. Because once you do get fatigued, your mind starts to lose focus a little bit. You're not as sharp, you're not as quick with your reflexes. Your decision making isn't as good. So being able to be as fit as I am and, like I said, not get tired is a good strength of mine. And training out here in Jamaica is good too with the heat, because when the races do get hot,
Right.
I start to smile because everybody is sweltering, and I'm easy breathing in the car.
So that goes to your advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you follow Formula One, and what do you think of the championship so far?
I am a Ferrari fan, and I say that with a heavy heart because it's been a rough year to be a supporter, but we're holding strong, and there's better to come.
Okay. So, my next question was going to be if you're a Team Ferrari or Red Bull, but clearly you just answered that one. All right, let's see if we can get another one from the viewers. Do you plan to enter in the future in terms of F1, say for example?
Don't get me wrong, I'd never turn down an offer
Right.
when it comes to F1 or any of those open wheel race cars, but rallycross is a much different genre to circuit genre like Formula One. And you never know, hopefully one day that what I've accomplished in rallycross can, prove it to those teams that have what it takes, but it is quite different, 2 different worlds when it comes to circuit racing and rallycross, and, completely different worlds, but, I hope that one day I'll be able to at least get a test drive.
Okay, so it's on one of the to-do lists,
Definitely.
if the opportunity presents itself.
Definitely.
Okay. Describe one of your highest highs and lowest lows that you've experienced in your career thus far.
Oh boy, there's plenty of those in racing. That's how we, motorsport is the is where you get the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. My biggest, happiest moment was 2019 when we won the championship in the ARX2 series. You know, when you do cross the line and you know you're still adding up points in the paddock, you're not really sure if it's happened yet. And we were fortunate enough and ahead enough in the points that we had sealed the deal before the final race, which was a nice comfort net. But I wanted to go out with a bang and make sure I proved it to everybody and ended on a good note. So we had won the final on that same race meet.
Okay.
And we had a lot of Jamaicans come up to watch the race, and you know they threw over the Jamaica flag onto the track, and it was a special moment.
Oh, that must have been exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any more questions? Okay. What do you believe is the greatest challenge most athletes are facing today? Just in general.
I would say that nowadays your decision of being on a team or not is not solely decided on performance anymore. You know, no matter if you could be the best out there, you'll still get a ride or be a part of a team.
Right.
But you know, a big part of an athlete these days is being you know, good in front of the camera, good with sponsors, good with relations, because you know, at the end of the day, you have to be able to sell a product, and you know, that's been something that I've been working on, and thankfully, I guess people could say that it does come easy.
Right.
And you know, having a Jamaican flair and you know, being that exotic in a paddock is very helpful. But you know, all of the emotions and the Jamaican that I show in the interviews and post-race interviews and during the races are all genuine, and I think people see that as well. That it's not forced, and you know, they're getting the real Fraz.
Oh, okay. Well, Fraser, I mean, we have come to the end of our interview, and I mean, it has been an absolute pleasure hosting you here today. I just wanted to say thank you for actually, you know, taking the time coming to see us. We got to, you know, see a little bit of who Fraser McConnell is. You know, we saw some of the developments that you've been experiencing in your career, and we got to see on a more personal and more intimate level, you know, what's your thought process like when it comes to investing. And I mean, it's just for us to make some notes of that and see how best we as individuals can, you know, create our own financial plan, see what works for us, and implement that in our own lives. So again, from the entire Proven Wealth family, I want to say big up Team Fraz, and we are definitely looking forward to your continued success.
Man, thank you for having me, and you know, when I do get the big check, I'll be sure to bring it back here. And
say no more.
Yeah, man, thank you very much.
Thanks, Fraser. All right, but before you go, I know that your birthday is coming up, so we actually have a little token for you.
What? You guys didn't need to do that.
All right.
Yes, man.
There you go,
Thank you, sir.
And on top of that,
I won't open it until
I don't know if this is allowed, but you can save it until after the race.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys.
All right, man. Thanks for having us again.
Very lovely.